Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So student, in the previous class, in the chapter that is sound, we were talking about in case of sound, student, we were discussing that what is the sound, and we have understood that how sound is produced. Basically, sound is produced due to vibration. So yes, when the vibration occurs, it will produce a sound. We have also understood that how this sound reaches to us. Basically, what happened here, students? It occurs when the vibration occurs, it makes the particles to move back and forth, and due to the movement of the particles back and forth, make it to travel from one place to the other. Okay. Like suppose what happened, if suppose a particle is there, students, these are the different particles present in the air. So if a person talk, we are able to hear the sound of the person. How is it possible? See, if this is a sound particle, suppose these are the sound particle, or when a person speaks, when I'm speaking, what happened? The particles which is close to this mouth, it will receives that vibration, and suppose this particle receives the vibration, so it starts moving back and forth. So continuous movement of this particle back and forth will transfer the energy to the other one, and this will also start moving back and forth, and due to which it will make the other particles to start moving back and forth, right? This will make the other one to move back and forth. Okay, so this is how the movement occurs. So one particle reaches to the other particles as continuous back and forth movement is occurring between these two. Okay, due to which energy gets transferred. What is sound? Sound is nothing. We have seen that sound is an energy which get transferred from one person to another, energy which make us enable to hear anything, that is a sound only. So this energy get transferred from the particles to particles. Okay, now see here, there is another thing that we have seen while talking about this chapter, that what happened in our how we are able to produce sound. So I said that if you keep your hand near to your neck area while speaking, you will feel the sensation, and that sensation is nothing but what happened when we talk at that time. You know why we are able to speak? We are able to speak because of a box, because of an organ present in our body that is called as larynx. Sorry. So this voice box consisting of two muscular cords which used to get stretched and which used to get loose. So when it gets stretched, it becomes thin, it becomes tight. When it becomes loose, it becomes thick. And what happened when the two vocal cords, when they get stretched together, it will become thin and tight. So when we blow air from the lungs, when the air enter into the trachea, and from the trachea, you know that the larynx are present at the upper end of the trachea. So from that of the trachea, when the air enter into the larynx, into the two vocal cords, then it will make the vocal cord to vibrate, and due to the vibration only, the air will start coming outside and sound is produced. Now the vocal cords also decide the type of the sound. If the vocal cord has been stretched a lot, that will going to make or that will going to produce a shrill sound. Okay, if it is thin, if it is tight, that it will going to produce shrill sound. But if it is thick, if it is loose, then it will going to produce very deep voice. Okay, so this is how the voice changes because of the vocal cords. So according to that only the voice will the different sounds can be come from our mouth. Okay, now we have seen here that the particles, they used to move from one place to another when we speak from one person to another. since they used to show the vibration. Okay, one more thing is there, students. If the vocal cords, if we talk about the vocal cords only, it is like a stretching of the rubber. You see, if suppose you have taken a rubber, when you stretch it, what happened? Here, the rubber, it becomes tight and it becomes thin also. Now, when you pluck the rubber, then what will happen? It will start moving back and forth, and there it will produces a sound which can be heard easily. It's a kind of a shrill sound. But what will happen if we make it slightly loose, then the sound produced will be also different. So you can understand here by this that while stretching or while loosening the rubber band, the different kind of a sound is arised, or a different kind of a sound is produced by the rubber band. Similarly, in our case also, our vocal cord used to produce a different kind of a sound depending upon the thickening or thinning of the vocal cords present in that of the voice box. Now see here, we said that the material for the movement, when we speak, the particles which is present near to the mouth, they starts vibrating, and due to the vibration only the sound get transferred from one person to the another. So if this is moving, if it is moving, so it will make this particle also to vibrate. Ultimately, this particle will also get vibrate. Like this only the vibration or the movement of the particle will occur. So by this, students, the sound can be transferred from one person to other transfer. Now here, by this, one more thing we have understood that okay, what will happen if there will be no particles are present? If no particles will be present, obviously this vibration will not occur, and if this vibration will not occur, then the sound will be not able to travel. The sound will be not able to reach from one person to other person. So by this we came to a conclusion that sound needs a medium for propagation. Needs medium for propagation. Okay, so sound needs medium for propagation. There is one more thing, student, that I want to tell you about the vocal cords, and that is the vocal cords of the men. Vocal cords in men is about 20 mm long, 20 mm long, while in case of a women, in women, these are about 5 mm shorter, while in case of the children's, have very short vocal cords. So it is because of that these are having the voice of men, women, and children are having different they all are having different voices. So why they are having the different voices, student? It is because of the different vocal cords. Men are having the largest vocal cord, that is 20 mm long, 5 mm shorter, that is 15 mm long are of women, and just because of that, when the women speak, their voices shrink because they have to stretch the vocal cords and they used to stretch it more in order to speak, and ultimately their voice become shrink. While in case of the children, it is much smaller, and it is because of that their voice is even shriller than that of the women. So by this, students, we can say that why women, men and children, they are having the different voices. Okay, now see the how the sound needs a medium for propagation. There are a lot of experiments with the help of which we are able to check out that how the sound it need a medium for propagation, or why it need a medium for propagation also. So what happened when you call your friend with the help of your phone? So you are able, if suppose your friend call you, so what happened? Your phone starts ringing. So the ringing sound will tell you that your phone is ringing or somebody has called you. Okay, so why this ringing sound is produced? It is produced because of vibration, obviously, and you will say that what will happen if suppose we will keep it in a place where there is no air. So you will find that in the absence of air, the sound will start getting fainter. Okay, like we can understand with the help of an example. Suppose you just take a simple glass tumbler, okay, a glass tumbler, and then you make sure that the glass tumbler is what? That is completely dry. Why we are saying that? Because we are going to keep the mobile, keeping your cell phone in it. So if it will be wet or consisting of water, that will going to destroy that cell phone. So ultimately we will keep it in a glass tumbler which is dry from inside, and then you just make a call on that particular phone which you had kept in the glass tumbler. You will find that the phone will start ringing. So what happened here? Here nothing, we had kept in the glass tumbler. It means it is very in contact with the air, and ultimately it starts ringing. Now what happened? You just hold both of the glass with your hand and keep your mouth to the opening of that of the glass tumbler, to the mouth of the glass tumbler, and start sucking the air. When you start sucking the air, students, from that of the glass tumbler, and you just at the same time you made a call on the cell phone which is still in that of the glass tumbler. So when you start doing that, what happened? This glass tumbler, the ringing sound will be there, but yes, it keeps on decreasing as you start sucking the more and more air from it. When you start sucking more and more air from it, ultimately the amount of air will starts becoming less into the glass tumbler, and due to which what happened? The sound will faint. So one thing we have understood by this, that in air the sound can easily travel, but when we remove the air or when the air become less, the sound also become less. So we can say here that is air is the medium for the sound to propagate easily. To propagate easily. Okay, so air is that medium for the sound to propagate easily. Then we can talk because of the air present around us as the particles propagate. It means travels easily in air. It can travel easily in air. But as the air keeps on reducing, the particles which generally help, we have seen in the first case that it is the particles which used to vibrate and due to which the sound can travel from one place to the other. So reducing the air, it means what? Reducing the, as the air keeps on reducing, the particles which helps in the propagation also gets reduced. Also gets reduced. Also gets reduced. Okay, so as the air is, suppose students, when you are speaking, the amount of the air particle is here, and as you start reducing it, what happened? The amount of the air particle also gets reduced, and due to which the vibration cannot take place properly and the sound keeps on fainting. Okay, thus the sound gets fainter, the sound gets fainter. Okay, so it is because of that only that when we suck the air from that of the glass tumbler, then the sound, the ringing sound of the mobile, of the cell phone keeps on decreasing. So this is about that yes, there is a medium required for the sound to travel, and that medium can be air. Let us see that is the water is also that medium which is required or which is important for the sound to get propagate or to travel. So see, you can also understood it with the help of an activity. Here, what you will do, water is also a good medium for sound to propagate. Sound to propagate. How is it so? Suppose you have taken a bucket, and that this bucket is what? It is filled with that of the water. Okay, it is filled with the water. Now you have taken a bell here in it, a bell or anything, an alarm, students, anything you can take. And what happened? You just try to listen this. And you just try to listen it when the by ringing it, what happened, it will also start producing the sound from it, and this sound can be heard at the level of the water. You can simply take a small bell, that bell that you use even while doing puja and all, and you can do this at your home also, student, by filling the bucket, and when you ring the bell in the water and try to listen it at the level of the water, remember that always keep your ear in such a way that water should not enter into your ears. Okay, so when you ring it, what happen, it will produce a sound, and this will also make sure that yes, sound not only is propagate, not only travels in air, but it also travels in water. So sound, water is also a good medium for the sound to propagate. Okay, so we can say here that the water particles also helps to travel from one place to other, and due to which the sound get travels. The next one is, that is in case of a solid. Lot of examples are there, student, where we can find that solid is also a very good good medium for the sound to propagate. Suppose you just simply do one thing, that you in your classroom you used to sit on a desk, and when you keep one of your ear on that of the desk and just make sure that your friend is tapping from the other end of the desk, or you yourself will going to tap it with your hand, what will happen, you will be able to hear the sound very clearly. Not only this, you can take a metal rod, a hollow metal rod, or simply a metal rod, and just take one of the end and keep it near to your eye, and the other end which is holded by your friend. Now make sure that your friend is tapping that of the metal rod from the other end. When he will tap it, then again sound is produced, and this sound can be listened by you very clearly. So this helps us in telling that not only air, not only liquid, but yes, solid is also the very good medium for the propagation of a sound. So we can say that not only gases or liquids, but solids are very good medium for the sound to propagate. A lot of examples are there, student, with the help of which we can explain how is it so. Okay, with the help of a lot of a thing, we are able to explain that how sound is traveling into the solid. Okay, now we can move on and see the other examples. That one more thing there, student, that sound can even travel in woods or metals. So these are the solid only. So sound can easily travel. So it can travel any of the solid. Now one more thing, that okay, we have understood here that sound travel in that of the solid, liquid or gaseous. What happen when is the sound which travels into the vacuum? No, sound does not travel in vacuum, student. Reason is, in vacuum there is no particles are present, so obviously there is no medium for the particles to carry the sound energy from one place to the other place. Okay, suppose we know that the particles are here, so it will going to vibrate, and due to which the sound get travel from one place to another. But if there is no particles are present, it is simply as space. There is nothing is there, student, like in case of a vacuum. So no vibration, no movement of the energy can happen, and ultimately that will be there will be no chance of hearing any kind of a sound. This happen in case of a space. In space there is no particle, student, the vacuum only, and ultimately the sound cannot be heard there. Okay, so astronaut cannot hear the sound of the other astronaut because of no particles are present. But while in case of the earth, due to the air, it will be easy for us to listen the sound of other. We can write here that sound does not travel in vacuum as no particles are present, as no particles are present, so no propagation will occur. Okay, so since no particles are there, so no propagation will occur here. Okay, so we have understood that the sound particles, they do not travel into the vacuum, but yes, they travel into the gases, into the solid, as well as into the liquid. Now again the question arises that in which one it moves the fastest, whether it is in the solid, in case of the liquid, or in case of the gaseous, students. So we must know that the sound is propagated, sound usually travel by the vibration only. So when the particles, whoever it is of a gas or liquid or solid, when they are close enough, so the vibration can be easily transferred from one to other. So the fastest traveling of the sound energy from the solid or liquid or gases, you will find that it is the solid only, where the movement of the particle can occur very fast as compared to the liquid and then gases. Reason is, the particles are very, very close to each other. So you see, student, if suppose we talk about the solid here, so in case of a solid, these particles, you can see they are very close enough to each other. So what will happen if one of the particle will vibrate? If this will vibrate, it will make the other to vibrate very fast. So this will also get vibrate. Ultimately, it will make the other particles to vibrate easily. So this is how the movement can occur in case of a solid. What happened in case of a gas, in case of a liquid? The particles are little bit far from each other, and due to which the vibration happens. But yes, it will take a lot of a time, or more than that of the solid, in order to make the other particle to vibrate. Okay. So this is how the vibration will take place in case of the liquid. While in case of a gas, students, the particles are far enough from each other. So they are very far enough from each other. So it takes a lot of a time in order to get travel from one to the other particle. So this is how we came to conclusion that yes, in case of a solid, the sound travel fastest, then liquid, and then in case of the gaseous. So we can write here that sound travel fastest, that sound, it travels fastest in solid, then liquid, and then solid, liquid, and gases. So if we have to make it, we will say that the solids are in which the sound it travel fastest, and then the liquid, then the liquids, and finally then the gases. In vacuum the sound do not travel at all, so we can write it like this. Okay.